What's up guys, welcome back. We are in the Marksmanship Hunter Mage Tower Challenge. I believe we are on video number 20 for our Midnight Mage Tower guides. You can check those out in the playlist linked in the description and pinned comment. Before we get started here, I'm going to hit you with a few recommendations for gearing and talents. The Mage Tower currently scales our gear down to item level 120. It does not scale anything up. You don't need item level 120, I would say at least 105, but there's also a few things you'll want to check out. If you have your ratio wraps, absolutely use them, as well as your disc belt. Beyond that, if you have season 3, 2 or 4 set bonuses, use those. Absolutely worth dropping item level in those slots to get that 4 set. There are 3 enchants that I'm going to point out that you might not want to miss out on. The first is Crystalline Radiance for your chest. That is 35 main stats, and also the Leech enchants for your cloak and bracers. So Chant of Leeching Fangs and Chant of Armored Leech will add up to 12% leech in the challenge. My talents, of course, will be linked in the description below. Sentinel feels a little bit better for me. I'm a big fan of Don't Look Back. Consuming Sentinel's Mark gives you an Absorb Shield for 10% of your max health. I like Absorb Shields when I can get them. You're going to get healing through Leech. You definitely want to make sure you grab Concussive Shot. That's going to be your main tool for kiting Karam. And you do get a lot of use out of Tar Trap and Binding Shot. Hunter doesn't have super frequent access to movement speed outside of Post Haste from Disengage, so I really like having both of those tools. I'm not sure what else you would spec into over those anyway. And of course, Intimidation is very useful if Karam gets near you. You can also use Freezing Trap to CC Karam for 5 seconds. Also keep in mind, Hunter's Mark is now just a 3% damage increase to whatever mob you have it on. I'm pretty sure that's new to Midnight or even just late Season 3 War Within, but you want to make sure you're using it and swapping it over to Wraith especially, because the first 2 opportunities to damage him are timed. And I'll be honest, my spec tree might be a little bit of a Frankenstein deal. I really like Volley. I really like the Volley giving 2 explosive shots, and also getting a lock and load proc that double taps whenever you do this is a lot of damage. You might find that you prefer something else, or Dark Ranger or whatever, but I like this. You could also go with the cooldown reduction on Volley, so you would have it up for every single hand. I'm not too crazy about that. I try to get through those Karam kite phases as quickly as possible without actually burning cooldowns to do it. And again, all that's linked in the description below. We're going to get to the demonstration, and we're going to talk things out as we go so you can see my thought process. The very first phase is just Karam chasing us around. He gradually gains damage and speed over time, so you can't kite him forever. And Karam does drop puddles of crap that we want to keep out of our main combat area. So in the very first phase, we're actually going to kite him around the perimeter of this rock. Race to being stationary, the Hands from Beyond, and the Rune of Summoning kind of tie you to that central area for the rest of the fight. We will talk about the new phases of the fight as we encounter them. Alright, so we're going to let Karam come straight to us. I'm not going to Concussive Shot him until he gets towards the tree here, because that first puddle comes out pretty quickly. Here we go. And I have like a @focus concussive shot macro. I can't even talk. That, you know, it's pretty handy. That'll be in the description below. And we want to make sure we have full focus and both of our aim shot charges for when we push him. And we'll drag him kind of through the ditch here, yeah. He's at 45. So he's going to transition in like 5%. I don't want to spend anything, we'll focus shot him up. Once you take Karam down to 33% health, he's going to immune and you're going to get access to Raced. You will have 40 seconds to do as much damage as possible. That's when you want a Bloodlust or Harrier's Cry. In this phase, he does start spawning creepy crawlies. I recommend mostly kiting them in this phase, with the exception of that first volley that you're going to drop, and try to make sure that's also on top of Raced. But really just keep them in the middle circle by kiting around, and focus all the damage that you can on Raced. There we go. We're going to Hunter's Mark. We'll True Shot. We'll wait just a second on the volley. Drop it there. Throw our Chakram out. Oh, they'll just blow up before we even do that. And we'll Lust super late too. That's always impressive. And not even worrying too much about the ads, just kiting them out. You can move with Rapid Fire. You can move when you Arcane Shot. And we can even just run right through here. And here's Karam. After that 40 seconds, Karam becomes active again. His speed and damage buff resets at this point, but he also starts summoning Hands from Beyond. These have a super long cast that, if you let go off, will probably one-shot you, is meant to one-shot you, might not one-shot you. You'll be able to kick every hand once. You might even blow it up before you need to kick it. you will still get creepy crawlies in this phase, but you're just going to handle them the same way. And if you're dragging Karam or the creepy crawlies or both right under a hand from beyond, great time to throw a volley down. Everything just explodes. And like I said, I'm not really going to waste too much time in this phase. We'll go ahead and binding shot this. That's actually a tar trap, so we'll do that next. We'll concussive, and then we'll hit this hand from beyond. Man, that aim shot really does tons of damage. Alright, we'll go ahead and stun him and get out of here. Maybe with the next hand we'll drop our volley. Could even save it for raced. Here's our concussive shot. Yeah, we'll just do the hand. The hand will actually spawn over here. Always spawns kind of like, not opposite you, but close enough. Here's our lock and load. Does all the damage, like 17k. And there's our swap. Back to raced. And at 33% health, Karam will again immune himself. And you'll get another 40 seconds on raced. Raced brings in a new mechanic, the Rune of Summoning, that spawns on the side of the circle, mostly opposite the giant hole. The rune will start shrinking immediately, and if it shrinks entirely, you're going to spawn a thing from beyond. The thing from beyond will absolutely kill you in like 2 melees, maybe 1. You can freezing trap it, and you'll get the full duration freezing trap 1 minute. You can keep it fully CC'd, but it's also easy to break because it's a very large mob. A fun little tip, if you do pick the call pet talent in the marksman tree, you can use pet move to move your pet to that glyph to soak it. While that's cool, I would generally just find a way to soak it yourself. If the area is covered with creepy crawlies or Karam is right there, you can turtle, and that's plenty of time to soak the glyph and get out of there.
Once again, I must clean up your mess.
And we'll try to gaggle the creepy crawlies together, yeah. Throw out another tar trap here, even a binding shot just to get him back in the middle. And you really can just keep them up and kite them into each other, yeah. They're super slow. Use post haste for a little movement speed. Probably a little slower on damage than we want to be. Here's Dingus, and here's our first Rune of Summoning. Oh, Dingus is not up yet. Alright, so if we can soak here, if he gets close, we're going to turtle. There we go. After the second 40-second burst window on raced, Karam will come back one last time, and then both brothers will remain active until the end of the fight. You can kill Karam at this point and just take him out. And when you do this, any hands from beyond that are active will despawn and you won't get any more. You will also enrage race. You're a hunter, you don't have infinite healing, even with the leech, you're not going to live forever if you do this. But if you do take out Karam, you have 2 charges of survival of the fittest, you have exhilarate, you might have a turtle left, you do have some options to keep yourself alive. Also, the leech you get from AoEing the creepy crawlies will be a good amount of health return. Additionally, Algari healing potions heal for like 50k, which is twice your maximum health pool. If you think you need to kill Karam to finish this fight, you want to go as long as possible without actually doing that, so that you can deal with a much shorter enraged period than just taking out Karam when Ray still has 40% of his health left, and you're sitting there staring at 400k health with your pockets turned out. Alright, here's our volley. This will be a good volley. We'll stun him right in it. Ba-boom. Tell you what, we'll even just get him pretty low. We'll concussive shot. We'll true shot. Take out the hand, just deleting that hand. Good God. We'll even chakra him. Get out of here. And I'm kind of going against my recommendation. He's super low health, so he's going to die probably to that dot. Let's see what Enraged Race can do. Here's our Rune of Summoning. We can Binding Shot. We might be alive. We'll just turtle. Yeah, it was dicey. Alright, we'll take him out so we don't have to kill the hand. Alright, now he's enraged. We're going to survival of the fittest here. We'll get a good bit of leech healing back from this pack of ads. Try to put it right under here. He just tops us right off. Like, that's so good. Yeah, I think we'll keep this one. I lusted super late in the phase 1, but that was a good example of kind of how to deal with it. So that's Marksmanship Hunter. You know, we can see our, like, eyeball, transmog. Pretty sure this is the one you get. If it's not, tell me, because that would be embarrassing. If you're looking for a spec that I don't have a video out for, let me know in the comments. Make sure to sub to the channel and enable notifications. Please like this video to help promote it on YouTube. If you want to help support us a little bit further, you can check out channel memberships by hitting the join button below. Thank you to all the members and super chatters. You guys are super appreciated. But of course, I'm just happy you guys are watching and enjoying the videos. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.